welcome to the WOOLapyk podcast. My name is Ida and this is a podcast about knitting. Today is Monday. We just came back from a holiday, well, not just, but a few days ago, and the house is so quiet since everybody's been here for the last week. Anton is asleep, so I thought I would be efficient and make a podcast right now. So welcome if you are new and also an old watcher, and also thank you to everyone on Patreon who is still supporting me, even though I have decided to add these podcasts to YouTube now and for everyone to see free. So thank you for still being there. So I have a finished object to show you that I can't show you because it's not here, but I will talk about it anyway, and I will add a few pictures of it while I talk about it so you can see what it looks like. And then I have 2 works in progress. So not a whole lot, but I've done quite a lot of progress on one of the works in progress. So yeah, I will talk about that in a bit. So the first thing I finished is a hat for Esther, my daughter, who turned 6 years old on Wednesday. So yeah, I guess on October 19th, I guess if you watch this, I don't know when I'm gonna add this. So she did that while we were away on holiday. And I think maybe 5-6 days before her birthday, I just felt like I wanted to knit her something. And if you followed here for a long time, you know that she is not a fan of knitwear. Not that she thinks it's ugly, she just doesn't like it because it's itchy. But I thought, I want to make her this hat, and I can always line it with like a piece of fabric so that the wool won't touch her face or her forehead or anything like that. And I just really wanted to knit her something or make her something that was something I made for her. And I found a pattern in a book. Let me show you the book. This is the book. It's a Norwegian book. It's translated to Danish, but the designer or company is a Norwegian company. And this is called Stuffed Animals. So most of the things in here are, as you can see, stuffed animals. But they also have a few patterns of like knitwear, like garments for kids and hats. And so I found, let me see if I can find the hat. I found this hat, as you can see right here. And I thought that would be a perfect sort of this is called the teddy bear hat, or like bear hat, and I didn't want to make her a bear hat. I wanted to make her a leopard hat because she is a funny kid. She's my kid, so of course I think she's funny, but she's just kind of quirky and is always some kind of animal. Every day she's an animal. She's usually a tiger or a fox, but lately she has been a leopard. And because they run really fast. And she's very much into wearing clothes that resembles whatever animal she is. And she has this leotard, like gymnastic leotard, with like leopard pattern on it. And she wears it like all the time. Every time she comes home from school, she can wear it. She wants to wear it to school as well, so sometimes she does that. And she puts it on and she is a leopard. She's like to the extent where she's eating stuff off the floor, running fast and like attacking us and things like that, which also isn't always super fun. But so I thought, since she's so into sort of being the animal, especially when she has a garment on, that maybe if I made a leopard hat, that would be a very big incentive for her to wear it because she's so into that. So I made her the hat, and I'm probably going to put pictures in while I talk about it, but let me show you the yarn that I'm using. So this was the base for the hat, and this is a Knitting for Olive double soft merino. I don't think they carry this anymore. not quite sure. Doubles of merino in the hazelnut or hazel colorway. So it's a 100% merino wool. And it is a, I guess you would call that a chain yarn, sort of very light yarn. So that was the base of the hat. And then once I knitted the hat, I used these 3 colors, as you can see right here. I have it all in my little bowl. For the dots of the leopard. And I did manage to almost finish the hat. I finished it all, added the ears, and did a few of the dots, like the night before her birthday, and then I wrapped it, and she was so happy. She wore it 2 days in a row, which is huge because she never wants to wear anything knitted. Didn't complain about itchiness at all. And then I've just been adding dots like the last few days as well. So it's pretty much done now. I think I don't want to, I only put it on the front because it took so long to do those dots. I don't know if it's called dots, but you know that pattern that a leopard has. So it's just on the front of the hat, which she doesn't seem to care about that it's not on the back. And it's not on the ears as well. So that was a very big success. I don't know if I'm going to add that extra layer of fabric or not. She hasn't talked about it, but maybe it's going to be nice if it gets really cold. So we'll see about that. I did it, so the original pattern has the ties, as you can see, but I just omitted those ties, and I figured she's so big now, she doesn't need a hat that can be tied on her. And then I tried to make the ears a little more leopard-like, which was kind of hard. And she has mentioned that they do not look like leopard ears, but still she's wearing it and she doesn't seem to mind, so I think it's gonna be okay. So that was my first finished object. If I remember, and if I have it here for the next podcast, I will show you just so you can see it in real life, or at least on a recording or footage of recording. Okay. Oh, and the yarns here, I don't know, do you care about what kinds there are? I don't know. This is a WOOLapyk. This is Tusindfryd, which is a Danish brand that do not make yarns anymore. And I think this is a Direrum Natura yarn, maybe? I think so. Yeah. So the next thing I have been working on is my Fiberfolk shawl. And I'm of course in the middle of a row, so I'm just gonna talk about it and then show you. I was just working on this morning, and then Anton got a hold of it. Jakob is my husband, by the way. So, and Anton is my son. So not Jakob, but Anton got a hold of it and sort of ripped some of the stitches off of the needle. So I'm just gonna pick it up and then I'm gonna show you in a minute. So I brought this with us on our holiday, and so this one, the shawl, and then the hat. So I mostly worked on the hat, but on the way home I did get to work a little bit on the shawl. And this is a free pattern that I have designed for Fiberfolk. And Fiberfolk is a knitting festival that I organized together with Jakob, who is, like I said, my husband. And so I have made one. Maybe I should show you the original pattern. Just a second. Okay. So here is the original pattern. So it's just a triangular shawl, but with, is that called an irregular, that's hard to say, a triangular shawl. I don't know. As you can see, like the triangle isn't even on either side, and so it's just increasing. You start at the one end, you increase until you have used all of your yarn basically, and then you decrease with another color. And there's a tassel here. There is some eyelet rows, and it's just knit and stockinette stitch. It's a very simple shawl. And while I like this shawl, let me put it on. as you can see. I just wish that the ends were a little longer so I could wrap it more around my neck. It's fine, I wear it and it's lovely, but I also wanted like the option of making or having like a longer and narrower scarf. So I cast this on, I don't know, when did I cast this on? In the springtime, I think. Yeah, so this is the original pattern. I wanted to make a longer, narrower pattern as well. I knitted this with my own yarn. This is the Seacomber colorway. I held it with like a superwash merino nylon held together with a silk mohair, and this is just a one-of-a-kind blue colorway, also a superwash merino nylon and a silk mohair held together. And this other or new scarf that I'm working on, or shawl, is knit with just 2 strands of a superwash merino nylon held together. I'm just going to keep working on this until I finish this yarn, and then we're going to change to the contrast color, if you will. So as you can see, I'm just adding eyelet rows as I feel like it. There's not really any sort of rhythm to it, and I think I've decided that for this pattern, or for this version of the scarf, instead of adding one big tassel, I think I want to do smaller tassels, but for each of the eyelet rows I want to have, I'll add a little tassel here, 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 and there's also an eyelet row right here. So that's going to be on the one side of the scarf, and I think the other scarf, like the other side, the side that's going to be this, this is all of you on my non-superwash. So I'm going to pair a superwash with a non-superwash just to see how that turns out. I think that's just going to be plain, sort of like the blue here as well. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to add anything to it. If anything, maybe I'll add like a braid or something. I think that would be nice, like a Latvian braid maybe with a tassel. I haven't decided that yet. Yeah, so working on Fiber Folk Shawl 2.0, I guess. Very similar but not the same, and I think the difference is that this one is work where you do increases on every other row, and this one you only do increases on every 4th row. And you can see in the beginning, I had a really hard time remembering when that was. So it's very uneven here if you look at the side here. And then when I got to around here, I just ended up, I don't know why I didn't do that in the beginning, but I added a stitch marker so I can tell how many rows I have knitted. And so I know that on every 4th row, I need to add an increase. So that is Fiber Folk Shawl. Working on that. I'm hoping that I will have that ready for Fiber Folk in Vejle in March. That's my plan, but who knows? Christmas is coming up and I have a lot of plans for that as well. So yeah, and this is called Yours Truly. I think I still have this in my shop, and this was called All of You. I think they're just gonna be a really nice shawl, also a very different color combination than this, so that's going to be nice to have these two to choose from. Okay, my last work in progress is also my biggest work in progress, and that is my tunic that I was working on last time as well. This is the pattern by Melody Hoffman. And it's a pattern that I don't think she has released yet. I have the pattern because she released it on her Patreon in the spring, I think. And I have really been looking forward to wearing that. It's a tunic. Thinking about how nice it's going to be to wear the tunic, and lovely and warm. And now I am not sure if I want the tunic. Not because I don't like the pattern or anything, but I think I have chosen the wrong yarn for the tunic. So I was working on the pattern, of course, and as I was working on it, it's just the original pattern is knit with 2 strands of Plutolobi, which is a very rustic yarn, and I think it has quite a lot of structure. And the yarn that I'm using does not have structure, not in that way. And so it's a lot more drapey. Flimsy is a negative word. I don't mean it like that, but it's just not, it doesn't hold the structure, the shape the same way as it looks like the Plutolobi does. I haven't never knit with Plutolobi, so I don't know, but that's what, I feel like that's what it looks like when you see it on other people's body, that it just has kind of a more structured look to it. I was working on it and I was getting further along on the body, so I had knit the sleeves and I was just working away on the body. I just kept thinking like, this just looks or feels so nice and so soft, but also very drapey, and I just wasn't sure. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna try and block it to see what the fabric is gonna look like. So I blocked it and it just made it even more drapey. So I think I am gonna end up making this into a sweater, which I know I will wear a lot. I'm just basically making the tunic shorter, so it's gonna be a sweater. So it has a split hem. I'm gonna add the split hem. I'm just gonna add it earlier than what the pattern calls for, which is a bit of a shame, but I know I'm gonna really love the sweater. I love, like, it's quite oversized. I love the split hem. It's gonna be lovely, but it wasn't the plan with this garment. The plan was to have a nice, long, warm tunic that I could wear at home, but also wear outside with the kids. And yeah, but it is what it is. I knew that, like, the yarn I chose was completely different, and I guess I should just have thought more about that. But again, I didn't want to go out and buy yarn since I have so much yarn in my stash. I didn't want to go buy that much yarn for a big project as this. So yeah, it is what it is, I guess. So let me show you. So you can almost see it here, right? How it's just very drapey, and I don't want a tunic that's sort of just flopping around on my body, if that makes sense. I wanted something with a structure. So I know it's the right decision. It's just a shame that it didn't turn out how I wanted it to. But even so, it's a beautiful pattern. Like, I love the big sleeves. I like the yarn. It's very soft. It is a, here it is, Alice by Pamine. I got it on sale. And it is, what is it? My goodness, it's white on here. 65% alpaca and 37% polyamide. So, and you know, of course, I should have thought about that. I just didn't think about it. But of course, alpaca is just, it just has a completely different texture than an Icelandic wool. So, but yeah, here it is. I am in the pattern. There is like a crochet braid all along the increase here. You can see there is like holes for making that. I am not sure if I will add that or not. I think I'm gonna try to add it and see what it looks like. But I also quite like it just with those increase holes here, also around the neck, and it's also here around the sleeves. And yeah, I think I am really excited about wearing it. So tunic or not, I know I'm gonna be wearing this a lot, and I feel like I need this in my wardrobe. I need just a plain big sweater, so it's gonna be fine. Yeah, and I think I'm actually at the point now that I need to split for the hem. Yeah. So this is the tunic. I don't think it has a pattern. Oh, a pattern, it doesn't have a name yet, but it's a Melody Hoffman pattern that's now going to be modified to be a sweater. So put that in. This is a bag that I got as a gift. So I guess I should call that is advertisement. I got this from Strikkefabrikken and it says Fiberfolk on there. It's just beautiful, beautiful bag. Unfortunately, I did something right here, so I think I have to sew that bag down. But it's just giant, roomy bag, and I have used it both as a knitting bag, but also actually just as a regular bag because it's just lovely. It has pockets in there and everything. So if you're gonna be at Fiberfolk, or if you're gonna participate in Fiberfolk, Violet, she will be there as well. Again, she has some beautiful stuff. I have one last thing to show you, and that is something that I'm gonna knit for Esther for Advent. So I talked about this on my vlog. If you're on Patreon, I talked about it on my vlog there. And at that point, I just didn't have the book. So I just wanted to show you the book, or the pattern. So look at this cute little guy here, or girl. A leopard, and a stuffed knitted leopard that I'm gonna knit for her for Advent. The same company also, so this Klumpe this company also has another book where they have some knitted clothes for the stuffed animal. So I'm gonna knit her the leopard, and then hopefully also knit the leopard some clothes that he or she can wear. So look, it's just so cute. I will say that I really do not look forward to making all those different spots. It just took forever on the hat, and this is, you know, a lot more of that. But I know it will be worth it. I'm sure that she will be really happy with it. So yeah, that's in my future knitting plans. I have to cast that on quite soon, because actually really soon, because it's October 24th today, and I have to get that ready for Advent. So I have to get that ready for beginning of December. So I have a little more than a month to knit this. So I guess that's going to be something that I am starting. I want to finish my sweater so I can wear it. But once I'm done with that, I think I'm going to start with the leopard. After that, I'm just thinking, I was supposed to knit Jakob a sweater, but like I said, he ended up buying himself a woolen sweater. So now I don't really feel like I'm obligated to knit him a sweater. So I'm starting to plan other things. We'll see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. And I will talk to you next month at some point. Bye.